First on my list in random order is Voiceless Voice, the newest addition to this list. It's a control type of deck that focuses on getting out Skull Guardian for your Omni Negate, Sorbies for a special summon negate, and Radiance to destroy up to 2 cards on the field, while easily recycling all these every turn to fully control the duel, all while having targeting protection thanks to Sorbies in hand, or barrier on the field, making this board a little bit annoying to deal with, and also, because they basically can't attack since barrier forces your opponent to attack your 40-100 attack monster only. And even if you go second, you have many cards that generate advantage like preparations of rights to play through multiple interruptions before setting up your own Omni Negate. So basically, the only downside of this deck is the price. Here's the deck list. It's full of UR cards. There are multiple ways to play this. Some choose to use Pendulum Graph Dragon, but you can also use it with a small branded package. Next in random order we have Yubel. No surprises here. It's arguably the best deck in the game. Going first, Yubel will set up an unbreakable board, ranging between 8 and 12 disruptions, meaning it's impossible to break this board unless the opponent has some heavy board breakers. The disruptions range from simple monster negates to linking with opponent's monsters to banishing cards and also destroying cards, all while using Nightmare Pain to prevent your opponent from attacking anything other than Yubel, which protects your entire field. If you go second, as you'll see, you have easy OTK lines which allows you to attack your opponent's monsters and reflect the damage to them. Basically Mekanko, but better. This is my deck list. You can remove Eternal Favorite if you want to take the deck down to 40 cards. Some people also choose to play Gigantic Sprite and a Bleed to lock your opponent out of special summoning. Next we have Snake Eyes Fire King, arguably the best deck in the game alongside Yubel. You can't go wrong with this deck. You'll win even if you're just pressing random buttons. Going first with this deck, you'll be able to set up an impressive 8 disruptions consistently. But what makes this deck special is its grind game, since you're resolving Flame Burge on your turn and during your opponent's turn. It means if your opponent doesn't OTK you, you're guaranteed to win next turn, and combining all this with Fire King, which also have incredible grind game, means you have no chance if you don't OTK. The deck also has a lot of extenders. You have Bonfire and Diabelster for if your normal summon gets interrupted. You have Kirin to dodge an imperm, and many more ways with the Fire King cards to extend. The deck also utilizes Zelantis OTK to quickly end duels and is easy to set up. Here's my deck list. Continuing with the fire meta, next we have Reacue-ACE, an incredibly consistent deck with very solid end board. With Reacue-ACE turn 1, you just aim to resolve Turbulence, which is 3 to 4 interruptions by itself, but it's usually also combined with other cards like Little Knight or Appaloosa for even more interruption, and if they do manage to break this board and play through all interruptions, you can just do it all over again next turn since you have a way to recycle your spells and traps. Going second with Reacue-ACE, you utilize the Zelantis OTK like every fire deck does. You're also able to play through a lot of interruptions thanks to cards like Bonfire and Diabellster Black Witch, as well as Emergency, which can dodge targeted negates. Here's my deck list. I choose to go over 40 cards because you have a few cards that you don't want to draw. Now we have branded Despia, the timeless deck. It's been meta ever since it released in Master Duel, and for good reasons. Having access to the best spell card in the game gives Branded an amazing turn 1, which usually ends on 5 to 8 disruptions. Disruptions which range from non-targeting monster banished to fusing with opponent's field and monster negates. Branded also utilizes cards like Bestials, which work as both extenders and hand traps. While going second, Branded has cards like Super Poly and Fallen of Albaz to clear your opponent's board, as well as cards like Branded Loss to protect your field and prevent your opponent from responding to your fusion summons, giving you a small window to deal with your opponent's field without giving them a chance to respond. Here's my deck list. The 60 card version is better than 40 cards in my opinion. And finally we have Tearlaments, still one of the best decks in the game despite all its cards being banned or limited to one. There are many ways to play Tearlaments, but mixing it with Horus is the best way in my opinion. Going first, Tearlaments can set up so much disruptions, but how many depends on how good you mill. But you generally set up Reacue-ACE for a special summon negate, Baran for an Omni negate, Metanos for 2 disruptions, then maybe Snow and some shufflers in grave. Sometimes even more if you have enough gas for Appaloosa. If you go second, you generally have so much gas thanks to the Horus cards and board breakers like Super Poly or Droplet. Then you can just spam Horus monsters to easily OTK, making Tearlaments extremely dangerous going both first and second. Subscribe if this video helped. Here's my deck list. Thanks for watching. Make sure to join my Discord to chat with a like-minded community. Link in description.